from the Opus Radio News Center, this is an Opus Radio News Update.
And good Tuesday morning to you. I'm Al Quartemont with your web news update. The state's economy, its impact on local business, that the focus of yesterday's Central Louisiana Chamber of Commerce Legislative Issues Conference. Louisiana Association of Business and Industry President Dan Juneau saying the country would do well to continue to develop domestic energy sources. It's a policy, he says, that should be based on security, not serendipity, especially in light of turmoil in the Middle East and parts of Africa that the U.S. is currently dependent upon. The conference also focused on the current state budget process, with Taxation and Finance Director John LeBlanc saying that business is improving in the state and that should help offset some of the financial shortcomings coming in the next budget year. Meanwhile, federal regulators have put oil giant Shell one step closer to final approval to drill 3 new exploratory deepwater wells in the Gulf of Mexico. Interior Secretary Ken Salazar says the project, 130 miles off the Louisiana coast, does meet strict safety and environmental requirements. It is an intermediate step and not final approval to drill. A drilling permit would be required for that. A moratorium on deepwater drilling in the Gulf imposed after last year's BP oil spill was lifted October 12th. But the government has only recently begun issuing actual permits to get those previously suspended activities going once again. Lawmakers on the House Budget Writing Committee are starting to comb through the details of Governor Jindal's nearly $25 billion budget proposal. The Appropriations Committee opening its budget hearings today with an overview of the governor's 2011-2012 spending plan. Governor Jindal's budget closes a $1.6 billion gap with a mix of cuts, one-time patches, and long-term financing changes. Lawmakers are questioning the proposed sale of 3 state prisons and the proposed constitutional change to help pay for the state's free college scholarship program TOPS. The new fiscal year begins July 1st, and lawmakers are expected to craft a final version of the budget in June. The state has asked the Obama administration to issue a major disaster presidential declaration as a result of the tornado that struck the city of Rain in Acadia Parish earlier this month. In a letter to President Obama, Governor Jindal saying the March 5th tornado resulted in at least 1 death and caused widespread damage to numerous homes, destroyed the city's water treatment plant, and also caused extensive damage to Rain High School. The letter seeks individual help for housing and unemployment and SBA disaster loans and public assistance for the parish. LSU officials say they have submitted a response to NCAA questions they received in December about the university's internal probe into allegations of improper contact between a former player and a former assistant coach. The NCAA has told LSU that it did not find any violations beyond what the university reported a year ago, but does have some questions. LSU issued a release yesterday stating it responded in a 126-page document that the NCAA's Infractions Committee is expected to consider during its April 15th through 17th meetings. The probe concerns wide receivers coach DJ McCarthy, who resigned in 2009, as well as defensive lineman Akeem Nicks, a junior college transfer who never actually played at LSU. LSU did sanction itself with the loss of 2 scholarships and a reduction in recruiting visits. And in Tuesday sports, in a cross-the-river battle, the LC baseball team defeating LSU Alexandria yesterday 12-8. And after getting swept by Florida this past weekend, the LSU Tigers are shaking up their lineup. The LSU will host Louisiana Lafayette tonight at 6:30. LSU stranded 27 batters in their 3 losses to Florida and have dropped from 5th to 9th in the college baseball rankings. We have more news on our Truth 104.3 FM Facebook page. You can always send us your news, sendlaw news at opusbroadcasting.com. I'm Al Quartemont.